And we're live, back at it again, like, literally, like, 2 minutes later. Um, so that happened in the last episode. Bartholomew died rather quickly. So we're going to start a new character, same world, see if we start in the same sort of area as well, which would be quite interesting if we do or don't. So we will start. Let me just get Twitch chat on my phone. There we go. So we will start game. Not going to use the quick character creation because I quite enjoyed going through the character creation last time. I really should have went and got a drink, to be fair, because this is the kind of game that does involve a lot of reading, and my voice is already feeling a bit croaky. Going well. It seems roughly the same. Miranda of Setmore, Janine the Mighty. Most of the land is ruled by House Lannister. They grow rich on fat trade routes. And the backs of the peasants, opposed to them, is the great cloth merchants of House Ordos. Yeah, the look in the shadows always ready to harm Lannisters and improve Ordos' standing. Archimedes, once a great and proud house, who remains but a shadow of its former self. Far into the northwest mountains resides a simple mining town named Springberry, ruled by a minor noble of House Atreides. Have they just gone, yes, we're going to take Lannister from Game of Thrones, we're going to take Atreides from Dune, or Dune, however you say it, and we're going to take Ordos from, like, I don't know, Warhammer 40,000 Inquisition? I don't know. War hasn't touched this humble community in over 400 years, since before the Empire fell, but goblins lurk nearby, often seen in dark forests. Rumours of giant spiders on the eastern roads keep all but the most brave or most foolish close to home. It is exactly 4:46 on Apmere the 25th. My village peace is suddenly pierced by a desperate woman's scream. A warm darkness surrounds you. Suddenly the walls begin to close in. You are being pressed from all sides. Just before it seems like the weight of the world will crush you, it relents, you twist, seeking peace. It returns, you wiggle and writhe at this irresistible force. As this irresistible force thrusts you from your sanctuary, and the deluge of sound crushes over you, light floods your eyes, the midwife joyfully announces it's a small baby. We're going to go girl this time because boy didn't go well. We are going to go, I quite like Evelina, so I think we'll go the baby girl's name is Evelina. As you grow, so do your chores. Life of peasant is not an easy one. Who do you spend your most time with? So we have Tamlina the Bard, our reward the Innkeeper, Yakman the Tailor, or the Village Children. I can't remember which one I went with for last time. Well, I don't remember the option for the Tailor with the needle point. Commerce, fashion, art, small talk, brewing, food, travel, adventure, philosophy, fashion, music, small talk, tales, gambling, monsters, hunting. I think these might be a different bout of options. Could not think of the word for the life of me then. And I'm quite tempted to go the tailor. But they don't like small talk, which kind of bugs me. 3 random skills, conversation interest in 4 random interests. Let's go completely random and we'll go village children. So you bounce around the village, spending your time with someone different every day. Some make more of an impression than others. None of your ancestors showed any aptitude for magic, so it comes as a great surprise when shortly after your 11th birthday, you experience the vivid waking dream that is the sure sign of the gift emerging within you. You never tell a soul what you saw in that vision, but you now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are destined to be a mage. Who do you spend the final years of your childhood with? So we have the options of father, mother, Gambron the farmer, and Wardrick the miner. Random experiences, Roella the chapter master, or Brindon the travelling craftsman. Crafting creativity for father, persuasion perception for mother, strength and stealth for farmer miner, random experiences just completely random in 4 skills, scholar enchanting for the chapter master, travelling craftsman for animal handling, survival and weapon use. I quite like mother. Your mother is a tireless, inquisitive force of nature, both in the marketplace, wringing bargain prices out of the eel hunters, and in home, devouring her treasured history of magic by Roval the Wise. You watch closely and learn fast. As soon as you were visited by the first signs of magical ability, your poor parents began to save for your future education. Now you are old enough to study to be a mage. There are 5 tutors they can afford. Who do you choose to study under? So we've got the Storm Mage, Arcane Mage, Fire Mage, Ice Mage, and Earth Mage. Because we did Arcane last time, which was good because the spells were good, but I overextended. I'm gonna say, let's go Earth Mage. A murmur of shuffling feet, rustling parchment, and quiet conversation fills the chapter house and lecture hall. You look for a seat. An older student taps you on the shoulder and wordlessly points you to the front row. The room is already falling silent, so you move quickly, hurrying to the last empty seat in the front. Among the strange new faces flickering in the lamplight, full of hope and fear. You take your place just in time, your teacher is here. Walter takes his time, making his way to the front of the class, allowing the weight of his presence to settle upon the class and linger there as he studies each of you with a keen and appraising eye. When the silence has become almost unbearable, he speaks. Most of you will fail, not from my tutelage, for I ask little enough, but at what comes after you leave these halls, the long, winding climb to power through the offices of the conclave. Look around, these are not your friends. They are tools. They are rungs on the ladder, and if you do not learn to use them, they will use you instead. As your teacher addresses those assembled, you learn that the 3 other new students are named Morga, Joan, and Sabina. These will be your constant companions for the year ahead. You will shape each other in countless ways, and for better or for worse, the relationships you form will last a lifetime. It takes you several months to realize that Morga is dangerously poor. The signs were there all along, but you were too intent on your studies to notice. Reusing old parchment, scavenging feathers from the barnyard rather than buying new quills, never joining you at the inn, but all too soon not even the voluminous robes you all wear can hide how thin he has become. Concerned, you inquire after his health. He reluctantly admits that it took every last coin he and his extended family possessed to pay his tuition. He immediately swears you to secrecy. No matter how bad it gets, the other students can't know about his poverty. Steal what he needs from the chapter house, reveal his blight to the others, or share what you have with Morga. I say we just steal stuff for him. We're gonna steal stuff for him. We're gonna help him out a bit. A loaf of bread here, roll parchment there, a forgotten cloak, but as winter closes in, you learn the cloak was not forgotten after all. It belongs to Joan, and your well-intentioned pilfering, not pilfering, lands you in scullery scrubbing tankards for a month with Sabina. The two of you became fast friends, but despite your best apologies and excuses, Joan always seems to resent you. While huddled around the peat fire in the chapter house one night in late winter, as a lull in the conversation, you stare into the flames. Suddenly, in a low voice, Joan reveals that she has learned a powerful spell from a tomb that your teacher carelessly left open in the library. The kind of spell you wouldn't be permitted to even read about until well into an apprenticeship or conclave. With a furtive glance over her shoulder, she offers to teach it to the rest of you. A hushed and heated debate rages between Morga and Sabina about what should be done. About an hour later, they are no closer to a consensus. It seems it will fall to you to cast a deciding vote. Accept the offer, try to convince them to abandon this plan, or inform your teacher. So, accept the offer will get force push. Trying to convince them to abandon it will get arcane insight, and inform your teacher will get dispel magic. I think arcane insight might be good. So we're gonna go with that. You won't betray your friends, but you won't go along with their scheme either. By the end of the night, you persuaded them to forget they had ever heard of the spell. Sabina respects your honesty and becomes a close study companion as you delve into approved spells in the weeks ahead. Morga, on the other hand, never quite seems to forgive you for not taking the information straight to your teacher. Familiar sounds wash over you as you rejoin your classmates in the dim lecture hall. You sit in the middle row this time, confident in your experience and your abilities, while the new students tremble in the front. You sharpen your quills, straighten your papers, and turn your attention to your teacher, ready to take the year by storm. You and the others are deep in the library one night, and the winter wind is blowing a gale. So you almost don't hear the pounding on the chapter house door. A stranger stumbles in, hooded and cloaked, and demands to see the chapter master. He is an agent of the conclave, he says, with sensitive information that must be delivered to the garden immediately. As the four of you hesitate, he collapses into a chair. There's blood on his cloak. So we can help Sabina see to the stranger's wounds. Like Joan, you are not ready to trust the stranger. You and Morga let the stranger into your teacher's study. Personally, I'd say help him with his wounds. Is what I'm leaning towards, so we get plus 200 XP in Storm. Joan, you get Arcane, and then Morga, you get Fire. We're gonna go wounds because it's what I'm leaning towards for this character. You may not trust him, but this man clearly needs your help. Ignoring Joan, who is vehemently opposed to allowing the stranger into the chapter house at all, you tend to his strange wounds. Send for your teacher and wait, enthralled by the man's stories of bone-chilling deeds done by the red light of Mabaran. That's what I'm going to go with. You are woken by your teacher, demanding explanation for this disturbance. The stranger is gone. Weird. Okay. The year-end exams are almost upon you, and none of you feel ready. The rumour is that the long illness of the Prime Magus has taken a turn for the worse. Your teacher has an eye on a position in the conclave that is likely to open up soon. Whatever the cause, you and your fellow students have been left to fend for yourselves as you prepare for your examinations. Everyone has their area of expertise. No one can agree on what to study. So we can decide to study with Joan, Morga, or Sabina's the one with sort of lean to. What spells do we get though? We get Ice Shield for Joan, Arcane Shield for Morga, or Flame Shield for Sabina. I quite like the idea of taking Ice Shields. I'm going to go with Joan. Your decision earns you the instant enmity of Sabina, who you learn has had an ongoing feud with Joan for the better part of a year, and of which you are now a part. Joan seems to think she has scored some sort of point against her foe. You throw up your hands in exasperation and return to your books, eager to enter the real world and leave all these petty politics behind you. Oh, my dear child, it doesn't get better as you go into the real world. You choose a seat in the back of the lecture hall. Send a first-year student down to the front row and settle in your third and final year of schooling. It's good to be back, but you can't ignore the tightening in your chest as you realise this is your last chance to learn everything you need to survive before you are thrust into the unfriendly world. Just a year ago, it seemed like you had all the time in the world. Now the end is upon you. The worst has come to pass. Your teacher has assigned you and your classmates a group project. You agree to vote on the topic, but your three companions all have very different ideas and very strong opinions about which one you should pursue. This endeavour will occupy the next 2 months, so it's not a decision to be taken lightly. After an hour of pacing and arguing, they look at you to cast the deciding vote. A pit opens up in your stomach. No matter what you do, someone is going to be unhappy. You choose Joan's idea, Morg's idea, or Sabina's idea. Morgan's giving us that Earth XP. She didn't seem to be involved in this feud that these two are going. So we're gonna go Morga. After much negotiating and cajoling, you get Sabina on board, and only Joan refuses to be mollified. Would you suspect that it may just be a case of deeply ingrained personal preference? She may not like it now, but you know what? You know that let me put my teeth back in. But you know that the next 2 months will do her good in the long run. Whether or not Joan will ever be able to admit that is another matter. Your final exams of the year are swift approaching. Considering how little Sabina has been studying, her optimism seems like mere foolishness, until you glimpse her and your teacher at a back table in the inn, with a heavy purse passing between them. Clearly, her success has been brought and paid for. You stumble home with a secret burning in your chest, demanding to be told. But who do you trust? So we can ask for Morga's counsel, grit your teeth and confront Sabina face to face, or reveal the bribe to Joan. We learn Frostbite if we go to Morga, Fireball if we go to Sabina, or Magic Missile if we go to Joan. I think we go grit teeth, confront Sabina. We're getting a bit of a goody, but not run off to the teacher. It's more of a, I'll follow the rules, but I'll slap people's wrists rather than getting someone else in authority to slap the wrists. That's the vibe I'm getting for Avelina. It goes surprisingly well. The conversation is hard, but finally Sabrina agrees to end the bribes and insists that your teacher treat her final examination like any other students. The night before the exam, Joan gives you the cold shoulder in the chapter house, and you begin to wonder if the fraud was more widespread than you had imagined. Fortunately, though, your new relationship with Sabina, your knowledge of the world continues. Through your new friendship with Sabina, your knowledge of the world continues to expand. Really struggling to get all this. Mere days before swearing the 9-point oath and joining the conclave of the apprentice mage, Chapter Master informs you that due to circumstances outside of his control, you've been unjustly expelled. It seems ludicrous, but a record of was misplaced in the archives of the conclave. Now, the past three years of your education never happened, and neither are you permitted to begin again. What do you take with you to prepare to depart. I do like how, even though we've gone for character creation a second time, it's been completely different in the story that's been told. I mean, with Bartholomew, it was like, it could have been political rivalries, trying to basically scorn someone. And this one, it's been like, well, someone messed up and placed it in the wrong place, and now it's all gone disappeared. So what do we take? We take a lump bundle from the storeroom. We get a spear, pickaxe, camp, bandages, 240 gold. It's not bad. A ragged knapsack from the hall, which you get dagger, cloth hat, cloth shoes, 100 gold. Level satchel from the library. We get a bow, cloth armor, pickaxe, and 109. I'm leaning towards a lumpy bundle from the storehouse with a spear, pickaxe, camp, bandages. Supplied with only what you can beg from your friends, you leave the chapter house behind and enter the cold adult world at the untested age of 16. An inexperienced, impoverished, illegitimate mage. I nearly did it all. I nearly did so well, and I messed it up at the end. On the doorstep, the chapter house curator, who is always kind to you, slips you a scroll of spells and reminds you to apply what you have learned. The door closes behind you and you are on your own. You open the scroll. Yep, we know all of this. Return tutorials, unlocking the game menu. And we are starting at Grosmot. Grosmot does seem to have a couple other places that we haven't tested out. The money of Valador is gold coins. At first, just having enough money to eat will be hard. There are many ways to earn gold. Quest, harvesting and selling resources, trade, looting, dungeons, gambling, and even performing in inns. Every town in Valador is unique. Its buildings are based on geography. Yep, so we know all this. Some have walls. The inn contains local news and lists any citizen with available quests. And then we've got traveling the world. So if we go to the Lammer's side box, I have no jobs here. This is the person who manages. This is the stuff you can say. Then people remember. How can I help you? How can you help me? That is a good question. Let's have a look at what I'm good at first. We've got weapons 10, strength 23, slightly better than last time. Craft 3, animal handling 15, and survival 3. We've got an interest in hiking, fishing. We have a disinterest in commerce and fighting arts. We have relationships. I know I included my parent. Mother, I think it was. I'm surprised it's not there. We are called Avelina Grimble. Nice name. So we've got Sabina. Who looks like she's a conclave chapter head somewhere, according to that. So well done. We've got Morga, who approves of us. We've got Joan, who disapproves of us. Who's a merchant. Morga is not applicable. We've got Masota Dabbing, Robert Brocksop, and Felicia Sparrowhawk? Sparrowhawk, yeah. She's a hero. She's an innkeeper, and they are a hero as well. So I think rather than rushing off to get involved in politics and all that good stuff like we did last time, I think the plan might be quite a lot to work with here. The plan might be to go and convince someone to sort of join us as a companion. I'm gonna pick up the spells as well. Nice one. And then we've got 400 XP, so we've got Lightning Bolt, Force Punch. A large open hand of shimmering translucent force crashes into the target. Air pocket, a sealed bubble of air. A fresh air surrounds you. Fresh air continually flows into the dungeon. That worked out quite well. We can grab all that. Can't do any of the rest because we don't have any XP in it. Arcane. Do we? Yeah, we have Ice Shield. Okay. Quests. We don't have any. Magic. We seem to have more than last time. I am stuffed. I am fine in well-being. Location inventory. Yes, I pressed the wrong button. Services do offer. So we got stone bread, cooked grains, square noodles, long beard, lager, stable, common room, single room, gamble, and washing dishes. So we will go to Felicia. She makes eye contact. Hello, how's your day going? Not bad at all. Let's chat. Let's attempt to flatter her. We rolled a 2. That's not good. You know better than that. You're absolutely right. Probably could. Roberts. Let's chat. Talk to you soon. Let me work now. How's your day going? Better than I deserve. And we'll also attempt to flatter him. That is not good. We're having a mare with the flattery. I accidentally left even though I was meant to talk to the innkeeper. So I wonder what kind of stuff is in the market. Services do you offer? So I have cloth, spear as well, which I need to equip, which is dual-handed. Bandages, stop bleeding when applied to a wound. We've got a camp. We've got food. We've got caltrops, torch, trail rations, common wine, and pickaxe. Of course, yeah, we don't have light this time, so I'll make exploring a bit more interesting, I suppose. So you got a load of beer, ales, lager, cider, small beer, clothing, assortment of fashionable and functional wear for many occasions, paper, textiles, light crossbow, short sword, hatchet, short staff, bastard sword, and a spear. I don't know need for any of that. How's your day going? Just so we can include that, I suppose. What is your job, Clarice? You are a trader. So you will basically explore the world, getting stuff to sell here. So we will compliment you. Building clothes. I'm sorry, but we need to close up. So let's go to the inn. Do you have any work for me? Actually, I need a message run down to the chapter house. Confidential one. Is that something you'd have time for? I can do that. I missed the thing because I was too eager to press. I'm gonna go to the stables for 35 gold pieces just to make life that bit better. Time matters, yes it does. Let's chat just so we get a little bit of a relationship there. Then we will go to the Conclave chapter office. William Mossop. William is refilling an inkwell. He makes eye contact. I'm a little busy. Masato wants to know when the guests are coming. I'm afraid I don't have an answer. I'm still waiting for the word myself. Listen, we're running out of time, so I'm going to trust you. Can you keep a secret? I think so. Members of the Council of Seven are passing through Grosmont sometime soon with Prime Magus Titani's health failing, we suspect that they're making a circuit of Phelan. Get everything ship shape before the storm strikes. The journey is being kept secret to protect them from the enemies of the Conclave, but we'd like to have a little extra protection ready when they arrive. I know they'll visit North Pass before they come here, so I want you to get over there as fast as you can. Ask Innkeeper Alice if they've arrived and come straight back so we have time to prepare. Can you do that? The Conclave would be in your debt. If you need directions, just ask around town. I'm looking for North Pass. North Pass can be found a short distance northwest of here. Wonderbar. So we are just going to set out straight away for it. So we've got hex map. Yep, so we've got north. And we got west, so that looks like a place, but that's more north-south, these two places. So I'm assuming it might be that. Tracks, I'm not interested in tracks at the moment. They are at North Pass. Right, so in you're not Alice. You're Alice. William and Grossmont wants to know if the council has arrived yet. Right, they just left. I heard a couple of strangers followed them out of town. Might have been Conclave battle mages, might have been renegades. Hard to tell these days. You need to hurry if you're going to get back first and warn the right people. Thank you, Alice. I'll be proceeding back to where we started then, in Grosmont. A large caravan on the road. A large caravan passes with carts loaded to the brim and a hired company of guardsmen. A single cart seems to be lagging behind the pack. Upon closer, you see a wheel has broken. They're attempting to replace it. I could try and nick some valuables, but I have no interest in doing that. I'm going to attempt to help them out. I have rolled a 5. I have a strength skill of 23. So we succeed. Convinced you could help, they let you step in to look at the problem, assess the situation. The issue seems to be weight. The cart is too heavy. Parry alone with brute force, use a spell, decide against helping, try and to find a branch to leverage, join the guards, and lift. I'm just going to power force it. As long as I don't roll in that one, I'm good. Which I haven't, so we're all good. You walk upright to the cart, squat into a lifting position to hoist the entire thing up and out of the rut without breaking so much as a sweat. Incredibly impressed, the men pull off 200 gold pieces to hand you. They thank you and quickly continue on their way to catch the caravan. And then we are going to quickly go to Grossmont. We will wait until they're open and we will enter. Go to the Conclave. The council will be here any moment. The townkeeper says they were followed. Study books to gain power. Books can be studied in the Conclave chapter house or your mage tower. When you complete the book, you gain the book's benefits. Right, I'll find another mage or two to watch the inn tonight. Actually, why don't you get down there yourself and rent a room just in case there's trouble. You've shown yourself to be trustworthy and arrive safe and sorry. Here's some gold to cover the room and a bit more for your trouble. I think you'll earn this spellbook too. Let me know when you're ready to study it. Okay. I think we're definitely going to do that. After we've been to the inn, I'm going to attempt to flatter her. And we have. And we've just improved that persuasion skill to 1. Very nice. Compliment. Let's chat. Let's compliment. Felicia. We're going to attempt to flatter you as well. That's a no. They are now leaving. The persuasion was improved to 2. I thought I rolled a 12. Okay, never mind, I'll take it. Let's chat. Please let me work now. Where did they go? I have to go. Okay, I'm going to let you go then. We will go back to the inn. Services do you offer? We will take stable room for the night. And it seems like there was no problems. Which is nice. Very nice. And I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for joining me at the beginning of Avelina's journey in Valador. Starting out in Grossmoth. I'll catch you all in the next one. So until then, bye, Paul.